Hey, good morning, world. I hope and pray that everybody's doing well out there today. Again, this is Marcus L. Lewis coming to you with a video just to continue to inspire all of you, and not only to inspire you, but to motivate you and to encourage you. Encourage you to really dream big. And again, if you're not going to dream big, it's best for you not to even dream at all. Because at the end of the day, why would you sell yourself short? God has given you with this awesome imagination to be able to think, not only think, but to be able to manifest and to materialize the very thoughts that you think in your mind. So don't limit yourself. You can do it. Again, if God has blessed me with the ability to be where we are today, knowing where we came from, which was a little nothing from my childhood days up until the point where we are now, it certainly has been a journey, learning experience. And I just want to share, my journey, my life experience with you, the listener, wherein I can just encourage you to keep going, even when you fall into snares, perhaps some setbacks, even knocked down. I want to encourage you to get back up. Keep your dream before you, because at the end of the day, even if individuals don't see your dream, they don't see what you see. Guess what? It's not their dream. It's yours. So you live your dream. And so with that being said, I talked to you not long ago about my wife and I purchasing our first home in 1993. How my credit wasn't all that great. And my wife, growing up had phenomenal credit, very disciplined when it came to credit. And as for me, that wasn't the case. Why? Because I didn't know. But thanks be to her, being able to save money, being the saver in the house, being the one who was more financially savvy than I was. I was more of a sort of a visionary, looking down the road, seeing what I wanted out of life. But my wife being there to support what we've done along the way. So she was the one who sort of kept finances in place. I'm in the Navy, going on 6-month deployments. I had to trust her that the finances was going to be in place. And I heard some horror stories, being in the military. We going out to sea for 6 and 7 months at a time, overseas, defending this country, so to speak, and guys coming home, wives not being there, and money that they thought was saved up wasn't saved up, bills that they thought were being paid were not being paid. But thanks be to God, my wife being the mature woman that she is. I mean, mind you, I really didn't tell you from the onset that, I met her at 19, and I was 19, and of course she was a bit older than I was. She was 24 years old, and once my kids found out the story that we shared with them about how my wife and I met, they kind of joked my wife, and they called her a cougar, saying that she got this young guy. But the fact of the matter is that, we were made for one another. So my wife kept things intact when I was going overseas, keeping the household intact, ensuring that our financial obligations were being met. And strong woman. And I want to encourage somebody who's listening on today, perhaps you're in a relationship or even thinking about getting in a serious relationship or getting married for that matter. And I know sometimes we really don't know, who we're getting involved with because, people put on different faces and things of that nature. But just do your due diligence. Just do your due diligence. And I'm grateful that we shared this life together, that we grew together. And at one particular point, I remember, as we had bought our first house in 1993, and, we were growing together. And even in 1995, my wife shares with me that she wanted her dream car. very humble. She says her dream car was a Toyota Camry. I'm like, girl, you cheap. You easy. You're a Camry. You know, you would think somebody's dream car would be like a Lexus or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or some sort. No, all she wanted was a Toyota Camry. And so on our anniversary, about our 3rd year anniversary, guess what? With our credit being where it needs to be, I was able to go out and buy her a brand new 1995 Toyota Camry. Yes, I got my wife her dream car because she stood by me, you know, as we grew together and was growing together, got her dream car. And she was satisfied and she was pleased with that particular car. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, going into a marriage where my credit card had declined on the night of our honeymoon to be able to buy a house 1 year later, and then to buy her a new car 2 years after we bought the new house. And that was a phenomenal accomplishment, you know, going from nothing. Now you can see, you know, where I can really say where in my life, just going from rags to riches and building up, just laying this foundation and sort of building on the foundation that was laid. But again, walking by faith, not by sight, trusting God throughout the process. But I want to encourage you now, we can have all the faith that we want, but guess what? Faith without works is dead. You have to do your part to ensure that you have things in order. So when it's time to step out there to buy the house, to buy the car, or to finance certain things that you desire to have in your life, just do your due diligence. Ensure that all your I's are dotted and all your T's are crossed. So when it's time to do it, you're ready. You're ready. There won't be anything to hold you back. And so by this particular point in our marriage, from 92 to 95, we're well on our way. We are well on our way. And so at this particular point, you know, we're thinking about goal setting and having visions and dreams for the family to grow from that particular point. And so I want to conclude this video on today with the thought, you know, continue to dream. And if you're not going to dream big, don't dream at all. And so don't limit yourselves. If your dream is when you tell it to individuals, if it doesn't woo them and if it doesn't wow them, guess what? I don't think you're dreaming big enough. You know, your dream should be so big that folks around you would call you crazy, you know, for the lack of a better word, you know, because they would realize that how in the world are they going to do that? They know your resources are limited, but guess what? You're not reliant on your own resources. You know, again, if you have the faith to believe, I believe it will happen for you, just like it has happened for me. So build your solid foundation. Continue to grow. Continue to use your resources that you have. And again, you'll find yourself, you know, looking back down the road further along than you thought that you would ever be. So be encouraged. Again, stay motivated, stay encouraged, stay inspired, and just know, if you're going to dream, dream big. If you're not going to dream big, don't dream at all. Take care. God bless you and have a wonderful day.